Clerk.
How we doing? Good to be back.
What's your approach during the bye week as far as balancing time away and being in the building and grinding?
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. It's good to be back. Just from a macro perspective, you always take a step back and try and assess where you are as a team. Everybody does that from their role, obviously. Mine being from the quarterback position, assessing where we are as a team and assessing where we are as an offense and assessing where I am in my play and how I can be better, and then how we can all improve in all those aspects. And then you trust the coaches to come forth with a plan to allow us to continue to excel and grow and kind of come back, and you galvanize all those things together so we can try and go out there and continue to build. So the process, um, you kind of self-subscribe the rest, but the work is always mandated
What things stuck out to you from the macro view,
of
just your own assessment?
what.
You were mentioning you take a step back, you look at it. Just curious what things stuck out to you when you looked at it that way.
Um, I just, man, I don't know what you're asking. Of what? Of what?
So you mentioned offense. You looked
Yeah.
at those things.
Yeah, of the offense, we've come out and we've played different games every week. So every week has looked a bit different. Um, and in the end, it's the same mentality of whatever works. Ultimately, I think efficiency is more important than anything else. And so I think as a team, if we can do that, do that as a team, as an offense, we'll put ourselves in a really good, position. That's a efficiency in everything we do. Execution, the fundamentals of things we do. Everybody has that from a role standpoint. So being efficient in what we do is important.
What kind of message does it send when, they go out and make the 3 trades that they did in this past week leading up to the deadline? What does that say, to the guys in the locker room and everything?
Oh, well, I think that speaks for how he is. As a GM, he's going to try and make his mark and leave an imprint on what we do, and ultimately try and fill in the spaces he feels we need to fill in. And so that's always been his mentality. And as a team, we just take it head on, and ultimately, we keep the main thing with that. Everybody who's come in, Jair and Mike and Jalen, they all are great people, and they're eager, they're excited to be a part of what we're doing. And so we just, we're all in it together now. And I think that's the unique thing about having this bye week in the middle of the year. It's kind of it's just right in the middle. It's right at the midpoint of what we're doing. So it's an opportunity to reset and learn from the things that we've done. And then as we've added new pieces and kind of continue to grow in a particular direction, we can grow and see where it takes us.
Jalen, this is the third time in like season and a half that you guys play the Packers. Obviously, they got Micah on the defensive end this time. Just what have you seen from that defense on tape, and what kind of challenges do they pose?
Well, that was a really good defense last year already. And so adding Micah to the mix makes them that much more of a problem. A really good defense. Really good defense. Great players up front, very disruptive up front. And then in the back end, they are very sticky in coverage. And so the linebackers fly around from sideline to sideline. As we know, it's just a great challenge for us. And so we got to come in ready to work, ready to play.
You mentioned the players you got in the trades. You specifically have seen Jalen Phillips up front 2 years ago facing him. How much do you think he can help this defense coming in here?
Well, he's a hell of a player. You see that from being on the other side of the ball. Obviously, always cool to have one of those guys on your side. But I know with his competitive character and how he's going about it, just being here in a short time, he's just focused on how he can contribute, focused on how he can help. You wake up, you go to sleep one day, in a different situation, and you wake up in this situation, and I know he's excited about that. But as far as building and talking about the reset of what we want to do moving forward, we have what we have, we are who we are, and it's about being all in on that, taking it a day at a time, and kind of getting better as the season goes on.
You
AJ just
mentioned
said
that
that he's playing.
efficiency, Jalen. Do you feel you guys unlocked anything in those, Minnesota, the Giants game, the final two games, or do you more look at it as a whole piece of the pie?
Yeah, I wouldn't use the word unlocked. I think everything that we've done, we've shown that we're able to do. It's just a matter of doing it.
It's been a while, but your first action as a quarterback came at Lambeau. What do you recall of that moment?
Well, no one was there.
People are watching now.
Yeah, well, it was, we hadn't played at Lambeau Field since then, and I think it could be a little nostalgic. But, I remember not winning the game when we should have won the game, coming back, had a holding call that held us back a bit. So, but hopefully it can be different this time.
You did pretty well though there. Did it tell you that yeah, I know I can play at this level and do this at this level?
No, I knew that from practice. I knew that from practice, but I think just really putting the work in and staying patient for when my opportunity came, and it came, and when you get an opportunity like that, you don't want to look back. And I'm fortunate. We're all fortunate to have done a lot of winning since that point, and so I think that is a key point, I guess for my career as it's gone. But I'm appreciative of that and the opportunity Coach Doug and that staff gave me to go out there and kind of start a new era.
Jalen Phillips just called this maybe the greatest thing that ever happened to him, getting traded here.
Wow.
What does that mean to you to have people recognize what has been built and want to be a part of it?
Yeah, well, those are high words, but I know he's excited, and I think for those words to be said, he's excited about the opportunity at hand and to, hopefully do something special.
What can you tell us about Jair Alexander as a corner?
He's a great competitor, has a great competitive personality. You see that, obviously being a teammate of his now, but from afar, even as a competitor on the other side of the ball, just another great competitor.
In the bye week, we saw you at Saquon's event at the team Halloween party.
Yeah.
Is it significant for the franchise quarterback to have his presence in those areas?
Well, I don't want to make it more so as a franchise quarterback. It's just me supporting Saquon Barkley in that, and I definitely got a soft spot for that. That's a passion of mine, philanthropy and being in the community, and I thought it was a fantastic event. His Hurdles for Hope is the name of his foundation, and what he did, and the messaging, the impact, all the people he brought together in the community. I applaud it. It was a beautiful event, and it was for a great cause, and I was happy that I can be a part of it.
AJ said in the locker room that he's playing on Monday. What was it like getting him back in practice today, and what would it mean to the offense to get him back in the mix?
Yeah, it was definitely good to see him back healthy. That's something that we were all thinking about, and just giving him time to get healthy again. And so we're excited for the next opportunity we have.
Why in your mind has this team been it's been since you've been here, since Nick's been here, successful after the bye, haven't lost regular season game after the bye? What is the process that leads to that?
Yeah, that's one thing that you don't think about as a competitor. You look back on it, I guess, you live life forward, but you learn it backwards. So you reflect on these things after it happens. And that's one thing that I've never ever thought about, but I think that's just a testimony to the singular focus going into every game, and I kind of related to, the changes and I guess the continuity or lack thereof in certain times where you're going through these things. And it just seems like the bye week is a time where we can take a brace and decompress a little bit, come together and say, hey, okay, what do we want to do? How do we want to do it? And so, again, this bye week came in the middle of the year, and we'll see what that does for us, but we just want to find ways to win.
How do you go about welcoming players to the locker room?
Lead by example. It's the first thing. Obviously, you show them that your presence is there, and you show them, how you work. I think that's the most important thing for a locker room in general, is to live it. A lot of things can be said, but what you do speaks so loud, I can't hear what you say. And so I think as a team, just going out there and living it and displaying the type of culture that you want others to see and want to be reciprocated.
Thanks, John. Thanks, everyone.